All right, let's do it. Hello, Mortgage Loan Officer Network. It's Alan from Georgia and Michael from Michigan, and we are here today with the Survivor Series. Let's make it through the year. Let's thrive. Let's do things a little bit different, better. Let's use technology. Let's not worry about what happened last year. It's done. It's over. It's dead, and we're moving on. So I'm excited that you're with us today. This is just so cool. You and I have one of these social media relationships where we just, we met each other, we watched each other. And I think that's kind of what we're going to talk about a little bit today is how LOs can become likable and get lots of people to know them and somehow figure out how to turn that into relationships and hopefully close loans, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, you got it right behind. I can see it next to your head. Bomb. You won Bomb Awards for being one of the best out there at videos. And, you pivoted a little bit in your career and said, like, I'm tired of doing things the old way, and you adapted.
Yeah.
Even as a person that's kind of same age as me. I mean, I'm turning 50 in a few weeks here, but we can't be afraid, no matter what age we are, to be knowable and likable. So I'm going to leave it open a little bit. Talk a little bit about, like your journey with using video and what the folks watching should maybe adapt or copy from what you've done in the past.
Man, let me tell you, let me save y'all a whole bunch of time. I went down, and I'm guilty of this. I went down a rabbit hole. I knew I needed to start doing video. And I spent 3 months watching every video on YouTube about gear, camera, lights, and all this mess, and got overwhelmed. Went out to Bomb had an event in Colorado Springs, and I went out there. And when I was there, there was a guy that spoke, Christoph Chu. He's like one of the top. He's a Beverly Hills realtor. Huge, does the homes of the stars. And I remember he had a video when he hired a videographer, flew in on a helicopter. I mean, and it's on his page on YouTube. It's a badass. It's awesome. Flew on a helicopter, flew around town, landed this home, went in the Mercedes. It was just awesome. But then I talked to him after, and he says, you know what, Alan? He said, I got a ton of views on that video. But he says, you know what has the most traction? Me walking through a house holding my phone. That's it. And I'm like, you're kidding me. And I started watching it, and I was frozen for a while because I thought I had to hire a videographer. I had to have all this perfect, editing and perfect text and perfect this, that, and the other. And I realized, you know what, that is not what you need to do. And I think what we're doing is, what I'm seeing right now is people are training folks not to watch their next video. They're going out thinking they have to have it over the top. They do their makeup, they do all this. In reality, I want to have a conversation with my friend. And I use the analogy, if you go to church and the pastor gets up on the pulpit and all of a sudden he changes the way he talks, he changes the way he stands, it changes the way, and he's not being real. And what I have found, the videos, when I started really tracking it, the things that I've gotten the most traction are the ones where people call me and give me feedback on what they're watching. And I'll ask them, I said, man, I just loved your video. I'm like, why? Why did you like it? And he says, man, I feel like I'm getting to know you as a person. And the light bulb went off for me when I had a realtor call me. She sent me a message on Facebook Instant Messenger. I didn't know her. And she sent a message over and said, Alan, I've been following you for about 6 months now. I don't know you. We've not met each other, but I feel like you're my best friend. I know who you are. I feel like I know what you stand for. I don't know about your business yet, but I feel like I know enough about you that you're the kind of person I want to work with. Is there any way that I could get you, in the next, couple of weeks, that I could get you to come into my office and buy you lunch and introduce you to my team? The light bulb went off. I'm like, that's what I'm trying to do. So is it about talking about real estate and mortgages all the time? No, it's not. That's really not. You got to do that some. But like, you trust you. It's just sharing a little bit about who you are. So I went down a rabbit hole. In reality, all you got to do is grab your phone and shoot it right here. The thing behind me, I literally pulled that in here yesterday because I've been having a blank wall behind me for a while, and I just moved it. You don't need to do that stuff. And I have found that I literally will walk outside of my office and go outside in the backyard or somewhere around town. Those are the things people look at the most. It's not the best backdrop. It's not the best back office. It's being my 3 phrases: real, raw, and honest. Just share you.
You're muted, Fish.
I know, it's fantastic.
Somebody needs some lessons on video.
I do.
Because it's been 3 years and you're still muted.
But that's the point here, is that you can not be perfect at video and you can still have a lot of reach. I've had videos in the last couple months that have been watched, 500 hours of total video time. How the heck is that?
Yeah.
How the heck did I do that? With me and this not so good camera and system and all this kind of stuff. At the end of the day, yes, we got to slowly evolve and make these things better. But this isn't, the Instagram mortgage show. And people like I said, the know, like, and trust thing. It's awesome that you're coming here and you're sharing this, because I'm currently working on a class for our VMA elite students on personalization. And I'm like,
right.
Oh my gosh, what am I going to tell these people about being yourself? How do you be yourself? Right. And I don't think that's the right question. I don't think clarifying who you are is important. I mean, you hopefully already know who you are. It's how do you communicate that so that other people tune in and follow you,
right,
and know that you're the kind of person they can trust when they need a mortgage. So how
right.
do you remind people that to hit you up when they need a mortgage? I mean, how does that is it the tech, because you're using BombBomb and you have these giant email lists? Is it Facebook? Is it Instagram? What are you doing to get all these people into your funnel, if you will, so that they hit you up when the time is right, or occasionally you're asking them for business?
No, when I'm doing a post on video, if it's something that's truly a personal thing, I don't want it to be an advertisement. I'm trying to create an audience and people that want to see who I am. And then I will put in some of those. I'll pepper in some that are actually mortgage related. I'm not a believer that you have to be asking for business every single time you do a post, because you put a Christmas message out there and then you're putting your real estate card. I think that just changes the message. So when I do a post, if it's on Facebook, I will, at the end of it, I'm always doing my tag, hashtag Allen Christian Mortgage Team, Mortgage Biker, Rosalind Ambassador, blah, blah, blah. And I'm always putting something on the end that it's, a personal thing, but if they want to scroll down, they can find it. Sometimes when I am doing a video, I will finish it and I'll say something about, hey, if you got any family or friends, Carl White, think about buying or selling, reach out. I'm always peppering that in, but it's not a huge in your face thing. So some of them, I don't even mention mortgages. Others, it's very direct and they know it. And that was the thing that realized. Some of my friends put videos out all the time, and it's like a used car salesman. It's too much. So there's just a time to be you and be real about just your life to get some attention. The other time, do it and put a post on there. And yes, you can say, hey, here's all my information. I am trying to build out, obviously, my email list, mobile number, so I can access all of that. So it's just going to vary, but I'm always peppering stuff in there, but not every single time.
I noticed a couple of the videos that made it, into my feed.
Yeah.
Were videos where you got passionate about what was going on with a mortgage transaction or with a buyer or with a product. I mean, I saw one that you did on VA. I remember challenging you to do one.
Oh gosh, yeah.
You did one.
Yeah.
And it was great. And it looked like it got a lot of views.
It did.
Yeah. And it was just because you had the passion. Like I had spoke to you a little bit and you had gotten fired up because of a recent transaction or something of that nature. And, if you go out there all the time and just try to talk about, hey, you guys know you have to have an escrow account and this is how escrows work. And you got to put nobody's paying attention at all. But if you tell the story about the borrower whose taxes got messed up because their loan officer wasn't communicating with them, and they have a giant $4,000 tax bill, and they accidentally spent their money on a vacation when they should have been planning better because they weren't aware of how the numbers work.
Yes.
And like this is so terrible. We need to be better. People would tune in and watch that, right? So I think, for me, getting inspired at times during the day, a lot of these coaches and friends of yours all over the country will say like, hey, what you're doing during the day can be your marketing. You're totally on a loan, you're calling a client or whatever. All the ideas are spinning in your head all day long. And how do you take those ideas and turn them into marketing? Well, it's not so tricky. Do it while it's fresh in your head, while all the thoughts have been have been, on the top of your mind, so that you're speaking as clearly and you're as passionate and fired up as you can possibly be. Just take a few extra minutes. I mean, how much time does it take you to record some of these videos that get lots and lots and lots of views?
Here's the way I handle all of this. I don't ever write the script ever. It's just hit record, do it, and you're done. Because once again, I want it conversational. I want to feel like, Michael, I'm talking to you, or TJ, I'm talking directly to you. And I don't want to do the post and I say, hey, y'all, I'm trying to do it that I'm talking directly to one person. So I literally just, if it's something that I would have, you walked in my office and said, hey, man, let me tell you, you won't believe the person I just talked to on the phone. Boom, and I'm talking. And I tell that to friends of mine that are loan officers or realtors. They share a story like, you won't believe what happened this closing yesterday, or this one couple, or blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you know what? The last 2 minutes you just shared with me, that's exactly what your video should be. That's it. I mean, all day long, we have stories of families that we help. We're trying to help, closings, just experiences or gotchas during the day. That's your content. And that's really what I'm going to be doing a whole lot more of just throughout the day. Things that happen, during a loan or client phone calls, or just things that we're learning. We think, especially on a realtor side, we think they know what we do. They really have no clue what we do. So that's a lot of what I'm going to be doing, is sharing a whole lot more of these gotcha phone calls or things that they just don't know about. As I've started sharing some of these more one-on-one, and I'm starting to share more of this, that's the stuff they just have no idea. No idea.
If you think about it, like you said, those gotcha moments, we experience those multiple times a day, in some cases, multiple times a week. And then we're always saying, Fish, I don't want to do a video, man. What am I going to talk about? Where's my content? Right, Alan, you just pointed it out right there, man. It's our life. It's our profession. If we're doing our job, right, and we're out there prospecting and we're engaging, with clients, with real estate agents, with leads, whatever the case may be, there's content out there for you. There's content ideas. You just got to open your eyes and pay attention to it, right?
It's everywhere.
So, I just had like an epiphany here. Every time I talk to somebody about marketing, they're like, I got to get my name out. I got to get my name out. I'm going to start telling them, that's great to get your name out, but instead of focusing on just your name, focus on getting your personality out, focus on getting your passion out, focus on getting your knowledge and your experience out. But most importantly, focus on getting how much you care out.
Share your heart. I mean, if you go look at my post, I had somebody the other day, I posted one that's pretty controversial, and I was really concerned about putting it out there. And it's the one where I had so many people call me on the side, and I said, what are you doing? I want to share who I am by sharing stories of things that I experience. Like, how do you tell a client that you have no business buying a house right now, cancel your appointment with your realtor tomorrow. Don't go look at houses. You should not be refinancing. You shouldn't, whatever the stories are. And then why would you tell somebody not to buy a house, Alan? Don't you get paid to do that? Absolutely, I do. And when I tell somebody not to buy because it's not the right time in their life, they need to pay some debt off or whatever's going on, people hear that and say, it's not about the house. It's not about the loan. It's not about the commission. It's my heart and my care for that family. That's what I want people to know. I don't care about that house next week or that loan. I care about them and what's most important for their family. And then I lose potentially one transaction, but I gain 10 more because I'm sharing about me and what I stand for. It's not about what kind of loan did they do and what was their credit score and how did you get them, approved. That ain't what people care about. That's not what matters to people.
So back in 2017, when Fisher and I started doing all this crazy Facebook group and all this stuff, a couple of just random guys like, hey, let's help our community. The one thing we always spoke about, Alan, was givers gain.
Amen.
Having a givers gain mentality. And
That's right.
We have, and Fish, jump in, man. Like everything we've done, sometimes we've strayed from it, but we've always pulled ourselves back. That has been our motto, from our mortgage businesses to the Facebook businesses to our side businesses, everything we do, having that givers gain mentality. And I think, I don't know, get into the karma and woo-woo, whatever you believe in, right? But I do believe that taking that approach, it does bring people back to you, right? By doing the right thing. And then in your case, you're taking that approach, you're sharing that. And as you just said, that's 5X what you put out there, because people relate and they say, you know something, if this guy was ethical enough to say, no, I can't take your business right now, that's we want to work with us or our children or our brother, or our sister, or our parents,
That's right. That's
whatever
right.
the case may be. So we're about 17 minutes into this. I'd like to share just some specific best demonstrated practices, action items, for someone that's looking to go ahead and get started and dip their toe in this. What would you, again, TJ Barker, you've never met me before. I pick up the phone and you're like, hey man, I'm gonna take some pity on you. Here are the three things you need to do to get started.
And I know a lot of people keep asking, the messages coming to me are like, what does Alan use for his mass marketing, and how does he build his email list? And
it's
how
not the technology, right?
All this tech stuff, but these are the questions people always ask, and they get away from.
By the way, I love the tech stuff, so yeah, so like, but
and I'm not tech savvy. That's I will say the thing that I'm good at is I've realized that I'm not a high level tech guy. You see most of these people that you see that are selling a program, you go hire them to do all of your work for you. Most realtors and most loan officers, we can't see that high level. Don't show me level 8, 9, and 10. Show me level 1, 2, and 2.5. That's what I'm good at. That is my specialty. I'm not that person. So I will tell you, here's my gig during the day. And it's funny, I don't happen to have it on now. I'm all about audio, and you see this mic, but I actually bought a Rode lavalier mic. It's like $30. I wear it every day. It's like a joke, but my friends will come up and see a little wire sticking out of my pants. I have it normally taped inside my shirt. I have a lavalier, so I plug it into my phone. I have a little bitty Gorilla Pod that I carry around with me a lot of times that I have, and I like to do a lot of one-to-one videos. And if I meet somebody, at a realtor event, I have coffee with somebody, I'm thinking and they just pop into mind, I'll pop a video to them. It may be on Facebook Instant Messenger. It may be directly to their phone natively. It may be that I shoot it through BombBomb. When I started, the way I got started, when I came back from the BombBomb event, I was not doing video, and I was freaked out about it. I remember shooting a video and I sat there for a week and wouldn't send it. It freaked me out. Well, here's how I got through it. I came back and pulled out my database and I shot 54 videos in like 3 hours. And all they were like happy birthday, gratitude message, send a message to your friend. You know what? Just grab your phone and hit record, and that is it. Hey, I was just thinking about you. I hadn't seen you in about 3 months. I'm sitting at a red light. You came to mind. I just appreciate you being my friend. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Hope everybody in the family is doing great. Reach out to me sometime. Have an awesome day. Peace out. That's it. And you can do that for you're just touching people with a message of gratitude. If you want to go on to business, you can start doing that. But if you're trying to get started on video, just send out a message of coolness. Here's an advanced one. You got somebody you're targeting and they do a post. I'm going to give you an advanced one. They do a post on something. Shoot a video about the post they did on social media. I just saw your video about you and your kids going to whatever, and I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. I love what you're doing. You're sharing your heart, and I think it's great. Just wanted to tell you it made an impact on me today. Look forward to seeing you soon. Peace out. And that's your 10-second video. And when you're sharing goodness to people and you're complimenting them, you're only going to get positive things back. So that I started getting hit. I got all these dopamine hits because I was sending all this fun coolness, and every message back was, when people sent me a message and said, man, I cried when I got your message today, I realized I'm doing the right thing. Birthdays are my favorite. Do a video on somebody's birthday and sing happy birthday, even though you can't sing. Because
what if you can't sing? Holy cow.
Well, that's the thing. You tell them, you know what? I can't sing. And I would ask people. So I want you to tell me something. You're going to get a ton of Facebook hits. You're going to get a ton of texts from people. At the end of the day, I want you to tell me how many people actually called you and sang happy birthday. And you know what it is? When the answers back are my mama and you. And now you're on radar. I mean, those are little, and if you're riding in your community and you got a realtor you're trying to target, and you go find a listing, get out of your car, have their listing sign in the background and say, oh my gosh, I was in the car and I saw your sign and I got out and had to do it. I love the house. You're awesome. See you soon. And send them the video. That's how you get started. That's it.
I love it. So Fish and I have been talking about that for years, but without the video, right? Being social on social media, get yourself, be strategic, get yourself a list of targets, referral partners, agents, whatever the case is, and just engage with them. Comment, hey, that was like such a great time. I'm so happy for your kids to win that soccer game.
Yep.
But you just took it to a whole nother level, right? And the cool thing is, and I can already see it. So someone's going to message us or put something in there. Don't create one stock video to send to everybody. It's personalization, right? That's the difference right there, is what you're talking about, personalization. That way you're connecting with somebody on a little bit of a different level, right? That allows you to take it to that next step. Coffee, lunch, Zoom meeting at a BNI event, networking event, happy hour, whatever the case may be.
As a rule, when I meet somebody, even just meet them for the very first time, or if I'm having coffee or anything, before I leave the parking lot, I shoot a video. Where in the past, I would have shot a text and just said, hey, it was great to meet you. I'll do a video in the parking lot with a building behind me and hopefully them driving out in their car, and to say, you know what, you made my day. Thanks for the time. It was just great to see you. Looking forward to connecting. One of my favorite days, and this is the easiest thing for folks, pull a list together, pull out your top 20, 25, whatever, referral partners, past clients, anything, and go to a park where you live. Go to somewhere you enjoy that's fun and that's neat, not in your office, and just have their name and their number down and just shoot videos. I came back from a vacation one time and I pulled off at a state park and I was sitting on a swing set. And I was shooting videos, and this family with a bunch of kids came, and the kids sat down in the video with me and I kept shooting. And the reason I'm saying that is it was not perfect. Kids were crawling all over me. I didn't even know them. I didn't have the perfect hair, the perfect suit. I was not in my office. I didn't have the best backdrop. I had nothing. That's what made it real, raw, and honest. And that's where the connection is. I'm getting a message from my friend, not the loan officer, not the realtor. And he's just talking to me. That's it.
I got one last question. We're going long, but I love this. I could talk for hours about this stuff. We go through these cycles where we're trying to analyze things and look at numbers. And we always go back to this, like, oh, the more hands you shake, the more money you make. And people got to know, like, and trust you, and then send you business. So, and this concept of like, know, like, trust, send you business, how does all the stuff that you do, like, how does that play into getting people to send you business? I mean, does it shorten the time frame? Does it make it easier to set up those coffee meetings? Like what specifically does doing all this do for, at the end of the year, when you look back at how many realtors you know and how many deals you got referred and all that, is it something that you can quantify? Because all these people always message me and they want things quantified. There's all these analytical LOs out there that are trying to figure out ROI left and right. And so, they drive me nuts, but I understand their perspective as well. But how do you measure that at the end of the year?
I'm not crunching numbers like that. I do the videos on a mass scale because I'm just trying to get a huge net. But here's the strategic, and this is another deep conversation. Here's my strategic plan and why I do just like some different cool posts. Anybody watching this, go look at my stuff and like it and comment on it. But here's what I've done. I went back and looked at like 3 or 4 posts I've done recently. And I had like 57 realtors in my community, 57 realtors that are liking and or engaging, commenting on my post on the last 6 ones. And I went in and says, well, wait a minute. They're not in my database. They're following me. And I'm like, all I got to do is have a little strategic plan of how I'm going to reach out to them. And here's what it is. One realtor commented on like 3 posts in a row. I reply back. I've got a plan on that, but I shot a video to him. I says, you know what? We've not met each other yet, but I just noticed that you've been jumping on and watching some of my stuff. And I just want to tell you, I'm honored that I'm even popping up in your feed and you're taking the time to look at it and comment. It just wanted you to know I see it and it means the world to me. Thank you. Hope you have a great day. Look forward to seeing you in the community. I didn't ask for business. I sent it to her. Then I go comment on 2 or 3 or 4 of hers. Next week, drop a card in the mail to her. Next week, do something else. And then when I call them, they've already looked at me. They know who I am and say, you know what? Like what I get now is people call me and say, man, will you meet me? Because I'd like to get to know you. So it's a soft touch. And then when I call them, it's like, hey, man, we need to know each other. We're both cool people in the community. We've not met. Let's meet up one day. They already like you. They've been watching you. So it's a soft strategy. It's easy to hide behind video. I'd rather do a video than call somebody any day of the week. So I love it. You still got to call them. You still got to meet them. You still got to take the online, offline, but it's such an easy way. Just pick up the phone, your phone, hit record, talk to them and send it. I never watch my videos ever. I shoot it and I'm out.
So I used to have a two take rule.
Did you really? I literally, I don't. I want to watch it.
Yeah. I wanted to get rid of that, and it's funny because when you go back and look at them, it doesn't matter. Because look, I always say I talk fast. I have a lot of ahs and ums and stutters because, my brain's going here, my mouth's going here. Both my takes are almost exactly the same. Right. Yeah. But I stutter in a different spot, or I in a different spot, or I lose my train of thought in a different spot. So what's the point? Right. Just get it done and go. And that's who I am. That's who TJ is. When I fly out to Detroit and see Fish and have lunch, there's no difference in how I speak and how I act. Just be yourself. And I love what you're doing, man. Like, I think I think that in our community, you said it early on. We are so focused on what microphone should I have? How's my lighting? What's my background? Man, I'm carrying an extra 20 pounds. I still haven't lost that COVID 20, or in TJ's case, COVID 40, right? And next thing you know, you're like best intentions, you got all your stuff time blocked, you're ready to rock and roll. You're 3 days out. You're like, well, I got to get this. And now I got this. There's always going to be a better camera. There's always going to be a better microphone. There's always going to be a better looking person. There's always going to be someone wearing a nicer suit.
Yep.
Right? We all have these.
That's it. And here's the people that freeze on this, because I still have folks, I try to get them through the hump. The very first thing, well, I can't do video. I'm like, so let me ask you a question. If the top realtor in town wanted to come walk into your office or meet you for coffee, would you sit down and talk to them? Oh yeah, that's it. There's no difference on video. What is the difference? You'll sit down and talk to them, grab the phone. It's not any different. The problem is they've just not done it. That's why the challenge for me was go do 50 videos in one day, back to back to back, fast as you possibly can, 60 seconds, a gratitude message. Once you've done that, it's like working for a call center. Once you've popped out 50 videos back to back, by about number 33, you'll never think about it again.
It's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, thank you. Fish, anything else here to kind of wrap this up? We're at the 30-minute mark as usual.
I could listen to Alan talk all day. I mean, like,
me
I want to buy a house in Georgia right now and ask Alan to do the loan.
You guys are great.
If you're watching, just remember the guests that come here, there's no money exchange. We're all shaking hands. If you guys aren't in Georgia and you need a good lender to help that rocks, Alan's been around a long time. Feel free to look up his numbers. He crushes it. He kills it. He has time to spend with his family. He's one of my personal behind the scenes mentors where we talk about life stuff.
We do.
So I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate all you do.
And it's about loving and supporting each other. And that's all it is. That's all this is about right now.
Yep. 100%. So hopefully we get to see each other again soon. On the Book of Faces or in real life. And we know where to find you if you need you, man. I'm going to give you one piece of advice from me.
Please.
You focus on you, man. Go out there, get the other things done. Yep. And anything that's a distraction, just don't let it distract you. Just focus.
Thank you. Because thank you.
You're like me. You have the same problem with me. You get distracted very easily.
Yeah. Awesome. TJ, thanks, brother.
Yeah, man.